Boys, we need to talk. I know you're all very excited about Chrono Odyssey. It's very easy to get swept up in the marketing cycle, but I just don't think that this game is the MMO that you've been waiting for. The hype for Chrono Odyssey is reaching a fever pitch. The few players that got a chance to play the game during its closed test are finally able to talk about it, and another test just around the corner is going to allow more people to really figure out what exactly Chrono Odyssey is. Because as you all well know, the hype is not going to match the product. Now, I will acknowledge that the game has looked gorgeous. It is obviously being developed in Unreal Engine 5, and it's beautiful to look at. The game is seeing an extremely positive reception from the public, which is a little strange to me, given that it's coming from a South Korean developer and a publisher that doesn't really have a great track record. Look, I don't want to burst your bubble, but I feel like I've seen this cycle play out so many times before, with games like Black Desert or Lost Ark, or to a lesser extent, Throne and Liberty. I found some choice comments that I want to share with you from its recent trailer reveal at Summer Games Fest. Listen to this. It has everything it takes to be the best MMORPG. Those are big words. If this game succeeds, it will change MMOs, and boy, do I hope it's a success. Please, this is the only time I'll say it. I have faith. Let this be the game. This guy says he's praying that this is his forever MMO. Please be the MMO I play for years. Yeah, you get the picture. People are placing, in my opinion, an inordinate amount of faith in what is a new and untested game development. And having seen a great deal of the game now, I'm not expecting a Sandfall interactive love story like we had with Expedition 33. I just don't see Chrono Odyssey being a home run for Chrono Studio's first time at bat. And I find it so fascinating that we keep seeing this sentiment from players that want a new forever MMO. I mean, let's talk about that for a bit. It's a contradiction in itself. How can a game like Chrono Odyssey, a newcomer to the genre, possibly hope to compete with established titles that have been around for 10 or 20 years? It is an incredibly difficult thing to convince somebody to leave an ecosystem that they're already invested in. And the longer that these legacy MMOs stick around, the more entrenched their players become. How can a game like Chrono Odyssey possibly compete with a game like World of Warcraft, for example, that has had 20 plus years of active development? That isn't to suggest that a person couldn't like Chrono Odyssey more than World of Warcraft. That's to say that Chrono Odyssey is coming out fresh and attempting to compete with an industry with major players that have had 10 plus years to iterate on their systems. It's just the weirdest thing. I don't understand how people could get excited for new MMOs. You should be excited about an MMO if it sticks around for 5 years and has seen steady growth in that time. That, in my opinion, is a lot more exciting than just a fresh launch with bare bones content. And as of now, players don't actually know what the core gameplay loop of Chrono Odyssey is going to be. We can surmise from the gameplay that we have access to that it's sort of an action Souls-like game, which is cool. But MMOs are not just about the leveling journey. MMOs are about how individual players interact with systems that are built to be repetitive but engaging over the long term. And one of the difficult realities of MMO development is that it takes a lot of time and iteration to figure out what that balance is. How can this game be infinitely repetitive and engaging at the same time? Personally, I think there are still too many questions about how the game's systems are going to operate to get excited about Chrono Odyssey. Any of you out there that have played Korean MMOs before know that they have a fundamentally different cultural understanding of reward acquisition, specifically when it comes to power progression. In Korea, for reasons that I cannot explain, it is expected that reward acquisition and progression will be inherently adversarial towards the player. I am willing to bet anybody watching this video $20 that Chrono Odyssey's progression system will require some kind of honing or fusion that asks you to feed it really difficult to acquire materials or very expensive materials for a chance at progression, and that the adversarial nature of that progression system will be lessened if you pay them money. Now, I know that everyone right now believes that Chrono Odyssey is not going to be pay to win. The game's Twitter page released a little video saying that no pay to win is guaranteed. I also watched the video from Canon as he directly confronted the director of the game about pay to win. I am shocked at how many people are taking these answers at face value. You guys fully understand that this game will be pay to win, right? I mean, do you guys think that these companies get into game development for altruism or because they just really want you to have a good time without paying any money? I don't know how many times we're gonna have to go through this, but of course the Korean MMO is gonna allow you to buy power or convenience. As a matter of fact, I am willing to bet that it will allow you to purchase endlessly because the ideal economy in an MMO is to encourage infinite spending. Now, does that mean the game should be written off? Does that mean that the game won't be good? No, of course not. People tolerate a great deal of pay to win in their MMOs. World of Warcraft is categorically pay to win. I've been playing a lot of Albion Online, for example, and that game is also extremely expensive, and it sells power and progression on its premium track. So both of these things can be true at once. I don't understand understand why Chrono Studio is being so cagey about the nature of the economics of Chrono Odyssey. There is no question that it will be aggressively monetized. All we need to know is how. I'm very confident that all of that is true. Now, just because it's aggressively monetized, it doesn't mean that it won't be worth playing. These kinds of games, these MMOs, they're very expensive. This is a very expensive hobby. I think that we're long past accepting that fact. So if you truly believe, as the director claims, that the only way this game is going to be monetized is through cosmetics, I've got a bridge to sell you in Egypt. Listen, I don't want to be right about this, but I just don't see Chrono Odyssey being anything more than another Korean disappointment. Even if these claims about the game being totally free of pay-to-win are true, allow me to point you to one of the only truly non-pay-to-win MMOs on the market right now. A lot of you forgot that New World existed, but it's still there, it's still kicking, and guess what? You're not playing it. You know you're not playing it. Here's a game that delivered on the promise that every MMO player says they want, and yet you probably haven't touched it since it launched, and you know I'm right. So when MMO players talk about pay to win, about monetization, I just don't believe what they say. I believe what they do. So the fact that the most popular MMO in the world is categorically, demonstrably, by definition, pay to win tells me that none of you really care as much as you say you do. And the other thing, guys, you have to learn to manage your expectations. Are you gonna be like Savo over here praying the rosary that this is his forever MMO? There is not a single game developer in the entire world that could build a brand new MMO with modern development timelines and modern development costs that could meet these kinds of expectations. Not to mention that every single new MMO that enters the genre has to contend with the fact that every other MMO that's already established has entrenched players and that their ecosystems have had many more years of iteration and development to improve upon their base offerings, which the new MMO does not have. At best, Chrono Odyssey is going to be kind of fun to play for a little while, and then you're going to hit the end and you're going to realize that not only is there not a lot to do and that it's highly repetitive although not highly engaging, but that the progression system will be so adversarial that you will be compelled either to play an inordinate amount of just this game or pay to alleviate that tension. I've played these games before, boys and girls. Many of you have as well. To earnestly believe that somehow, by some miracle, Chrono Odyssey is going to be the one game that breaks from tradition is to be willfully ignorant. So remember this video when the game finally comes out, you get your hands on it and you realize that there's just not much there. And that what is there exists for the express purpose of separating you from your money as often as possible. Alright guys, that's all I have to say about Chrono Odyssey for now. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this game, which I do not think is going to be great, but hey, a new MMORPG demands content. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to hit subscribe and leave me a like. It's a great way to help the channel reach new people. Shout out to my sponsors on Patreon, JG Chowder and Lammy. Remember, you can get all videos 2 days early and ad-free for only $1 a month on Patreon. It's the best deal in town. I really want to hear your thoughts about Chrono Odyssey. Am I being too cynical? Am I going too hard on these poor guys in the comment section? Or do you share my perspective, which is that the game is going to be yet another Korean MMO that you forget about within 6 to 12 months of its launch? Feel free to sound off in the comments. Be creative, don't hold back. Follow me at the relevant links in the description, and minding my manners, of course. Thanks for watching.